guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show at GMP.
Hola, bom dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal live stream. Always a late one last night. I'm going to need your help this morning. I think what we're going to start with, actually, let's have a nice, calm, feel-good Friday. Whoa. Filomena Friday. Ooh. Enough of that, I think. We'll let the professionals do that a little bit later on. Just waiting for, I was going to say Gilda, Filomena, to send me her jingle. Filomena, I can't find your jingle. Please send it in, along with all the wonderful goodies that Filomena has been sending in. She has got some great stuff for you after 9 o'clock this morning. I haven't done my ticker tape. All over the place this morning, so I need your help to chill. Take it easy this morning as we get ready for Filomena Friday, and of course all your questions about Portuguese language and culture. Let's start with a nice calma. Oh, I've got something else that isn't calm, but I need to load that up very quickly whilst we're talking. How are you this morning? Please let me know in the comments in the chat. I think you already have been doing that, right? But forgot to play this. Thank you for your prompt, James. But we'll start with a nice calming view from Eddie Serra this morning. Check this out. Could you feel that gently massaging your heart chakra? I could. And apparently, that video was shot from around this part of Ericeira, where you can also see this, which I won't try and translate right now, but a nice rusty old anchor, not Cockney rhyming slang, and this building here, which I think James will tell us more about in the comments, while we're on the pictures that are being sent in, and we love these from all over Portugal. This is from Ericeira, of course, as is this, and the lovely scenery. See what I did there? And actually, it's a very mild morning here in San Martino de Porto, but I think that surf is up out there. I could hear the sea. I live, I don't know, it's about, it's a good 10 or 15 minute walk, depending on whether you've got kids and dogs or whatever. I can get my head down and get to the seaside in about 10 minutes, I think. And I could hear it. I can hear it this morning. I think Cindy B will give us a little bit of a report on that, but I think it continues to be a bit choppy beyond the bay there. Up in Bairrada, let's have a look at this in a cemetery. I think this is where, well, that's amazing, isn't it? A bit of incredible. And a lovely shadow you've captured there. So in the cemetery there, and I suspect the person who's being remembered there is was a builder. There's a trowel made from carved out of the stone. That's a lovely piece of work, isn't it? Amazing. And another scene from this Bairrada cemetery where Andy lives, and sent us in some amazing pictures in the last few days. Another tomb here with, what are those tools? That's a blacksmith, isn't it? An anvil. And some bellows and hammer and tongs. Being remembered for your hammer and tongs approach to life there. Quite incredible. And what was this one? This is some. Who's this from our community? Okay, so we've got these. We didn't reveal the identity of Mullet Man, did we? Mullet Man here. I forgot to do that yesterday. This is Francis, of course, from South Africa. Francis, if you want to take responsibility for that and give us the backstory, it was Francis. I'm not sure if anybody got that particular one. So Francis there in South Africa, which then had this guest very quickly yesterday. That was Lonnie. Isn't that fantastic? And he didn't seem to mind too much the Bee Gees references. This one I'll leave hanging here a little bit longer, but it was guessed correctly yesterday. But who is this from our community? Keep those coming in. And who is this from our community as well? And I've got another one, actually. So there are some in the queue. Send us your pictures of yourself as like I said yesterday, they've got to be when you're younger. Even if it's this morning, it's when you're younger, isn't it? You can't really send pictures of yourself in the future. I guess you could send guesses, but this is as close as we come to the truth, looking back on ourselves in the past and letting others in this community guess who you are. Who is that? That's not going to be an easy one. And I actually forget who that is now. I'll be able to go through WhatsApp and find out. A riot of Gumpers on the screen. I had a lovely lunch with Phil. I've got a beautiful picture with similar smiles to this. Look, when Gumpers get together, it's a riot. And there they are, Leona, Hank, Connie, James, and the Doc there. With a bit of a meetup going on. I think that was a few weeks ago now, but more and more of this happening, and we think it's fantastic. At Expats Portugal, that all the lovely members of our community are getting together in this way now that the restrictions are easing off and life is not returning to normal. I don't think that's going to happen, is it? But life is coming back to more of the style and approach that we were familiar with or were looking forward to here in Portugal. Who's in this morning? We've got a currency update from Spartan. Let me read you a fantastic testimonial about Spartan. Prompt, professional, and personalized service. A lot of P's there. Oh, excuse me. FX is not something most people have experience with or knowledge of. So Spartan steps in with very prompt, professional, and personal. He's doing it again. Prompt and personalized service. Pick up a penguin. Anybody can set up an automated transaction site, but especially for larger amounts and multiple currencies, Spartan FX has the right mix of high tech and high touch. High touch, that's a nice phrase, isn't it? And I think that's the way we tend to roll with the professionals we work with. We like that high tech and high touch combo. You see that, of course, with Winsurance and Nunu. That's a really good mix to have, isn't it? Not losing touch of us being human beings and needing contact with each other, especially when things are a bit stressful or unknown. But also the right level of tech as well to make it easy. That's the right combo, isn't it? Technology that serves us and not forgetting the human aspect. Let's see who's here this morning. Very good. Filomena's already in. And I think she might have already sent her jingle in, if you don't mind. You beauties. Owen, the creator of Feelgood Friday. Here we go.
Filomena Friday.
He's done it. Thank you. He came to our rescue there. Thank you very much.
Filomena Friday.
Beautiful. And the Ermida. Hold on, what's going on here? So I thought I'd ruined a quiz there. It says where this is, not where is this. So James, your pictures earlier, where was that? And are we talking about? Oh, these are the pictures from the inside of that building. Okay, let me just very quickly download and show those as well. You'd never guess, would you, from the outside that it's so beautiful inside? It has no curb appeal. Only kidding. Only kidding, everybody. Oh, I see. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Brilliant picture of you as well this morning, Deagle. Super. Where are you? My friend. And this is fantastic. So many wonderful pictures coming in from everybody. Really appreciate it. So Filomena here after 9, about 20 minutes time. I think she's bringing a guest with her at some point as well. North Dakota as well. Picture in from from Carlos as well. This is a cartoon which I think I'll show. Maybe that's the bubble off center. Yes, because I think there are two. It's become to my attention, and this is a very sad thing about both my names, Carl and Munson. Carl is used, isn't it, in America, I think, as a little bit of a term is it a bit of a put down in the United States? When you want to make a certain kind of point, you use the name Carl. I can assure you it's not the same in my native Britain or Germany. And Munson as well. If you watch the movie Kingpin, it's almost an adjective of stupidity. So there you go, doubly blessed in the American culture with meanings for my name there. Thank you, America. Matty, bon dia. How are you today, Matty? Bon dia, a todos, Amsterdam. My test yesterday was positive, so my plans for driving back to Portugal are postponed. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. I think there is health advice coming in, Matty, for you. Stand by. Coach Turner, morning all. Sorry to hear that, Matty. Hope you're okay. Weather set to be good here in Praia da Luz today. You brought good weather with you, but gradually becoming cooler over the coming days. No, you didn't. You brought one good day with you, and it's cooling down. That's no good, is it? Rain overnight here, the much-needed rain. And that's how we want it. Beautiful days and rainy nights, of course, at this time of year, and fill those reservoirs back up. Café e pastéis de manhã. Very good. Enjoying all the goodies that Portugal has to offer. I hope, Coach Turn. I hope you're having a great time. Bom dia, alegria, nação de Gumpers. That was a bit Gumpers there. Scottish Gumpers. Stephen Wright quote of the day: for every action, there is an equal and opposite criticism. Don't we know it? Don't we know it? We demonstrate that law of physics here from time to time, don't we? And probably even more on the Bubble Up Centre podcast. Join us for that at 10:30 with me and the T-Duck, who tease these up every day for the Carlin and the Right. George Carlin quote of the day: careful, if you think too much, they'll take you away. Yes, that connects with the lovely philosophical thought-based content from yesterday. And I can't remember which great Portuguese thinker that was. But the point I was making yesterday is too much thinking is bad for you. It tends to go downwards, doesn't it? Being is supreme, my friends. Bon dia, Carl, from a cold Belfast. -3, frosty overnight. One sleep till I start feeling heat. I know 19 to 20 degrees, not warm to Portugal, but it's fairly good summer's day here in Belfast. I think you're so ready for this trip to Portugal, aren't you, Deagle? Good morning to the Gumpers from Baldilocks. How are you over there in California? And the prof is in as well, as is Moaz. Bon dia, Carlitos. And the prof has still got a lovely picture. And bon dia, you warm custard tarts. He means that nicely and squidgily, I think. Warm custard tarts, so funny, Prof. And how many days do you have to be quarantined, Matty? They want to know in the Netherlands. Is it on the spectrum of quarantine? Is it at the Australian end or is it at the British end? I wonder. Okay, getting better now. I have not yet read the wall of text regarding all the things to do. Oh, he's not happy about that, has he, by the sound of it? I thought I can watch the show, but I'm going back to bed again. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Harumph. Fair enough. Get well soon. Take it easy, buddy, and hope you're back with us soon. Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So pack as many memories into each day, everybody, is the advice. Not Carlin or Wright. That's McKillen from Belfast this morning. Have a wonderful weekend. And yes, rest is good for you. And take vitamin C, lots of liquids, and eat lots of fruit and vegetables. And yes, do a 50-minute headstand. No, I made that one up at the end. Words of wisdom there, Deagle. Yeah, let's do that again, actually. Just leave it on the screen for a little while. Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So pack as many memories into each day as you possibly can, folks. And that's exactly what Deagle's preparing to do and is doing. Sexta means Friday, right? Sexta-feira, sim. Right, I'm learning the days of the week, but I still make mistakes. Yeah, what throws you with Portuguese is actually the first day of the week is Sunday. In the culture that I come from, first day of the week is Monday. So that does throw you a little bit. Today in Portuguese history, 2007, second abortion referendum passes with a 19% majority. The subsequent law liberalizes abortion to on demand up to 10 weeks. Thank you, Prof, for your continued this day in Portuguese history content. A previous 1998 referendum has failed by less than 50,000 votes. Abortion has been made illegal in 1570. In 1984, the PS government legalized it in very specific circumstances. Thank you, Prof. Good morning to all of you lovely Gumpers. Happy Friday, says the OLP. And Cindy B with the Bon Dia Alegria Gumpers as well. And lots of love coming in for you, Matty, as quite rightly so too. Bon dia todos from Jackie. Good morning, Jackie Grant. How are you this morning? And happy Friday to me as well from the OLP. Fantastic. Thanks, Jackie. I've seen your heightened attendance has been noted. Thanks for being here. Brian, too. Bon dia, Gumpers. Great webinar last night. Thanks, Carl. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? I mean, he's such a pro. Brilliant. A presenter of anything to do with the golden visa, have we done an HR with Daniel? But certainly last night, who, when, why, how to apply for Portuguese citizenship. And he was great, really good, to the point. Got all the questions answered. Had a great session with Daniel. Daniel Reis of Reis Pelicano, the law firm who you can find if you need a lawyer in Portugal. Go to our business directory, Reis Pelicano, and I'll stick that up on the web in the next day or two. It was a great session, as was the Premium Plus session for those being handheld towards Portugal with a weekly meeting, a weekly Zoom, a great get-together. That's becoming more and more fun each week, actually, for those of you who are accelerating your plans to come to Portugal. And lots of people are, let's face it. You can join our Premium Plus level of membership with additional video content, a separate part of the forum, just to make it a little bit easier. Our forum's huge, isn't it? And anywhere on the internet where there is information, it can become a little bit like finding a needle in a haystack. So we try and make it as easy and as focused as possible with a particular Premium Plus part of the forum, exclusive video content, and that weekly meetup. Where people are on the amazing journeys that we hear about. And so many people accelerate, not just accelerating their plans by being on the plan and doing the course and the guide to coming to Portugal with us, but people just of their own accord saying, okay, it was going to be 2025, it was going to be 2024, now it's next week, I've had enough, I'm coming over. That seems to be what's happening, folks. So great session last night at 9 as well, which we do every week with Premium Plus. Bom dia, alegria, looking forward to learning all about festivals and improving my Portuguese with the Fantasmagorical Filomena. Very good, Pete. And 15 minutes again, good morning to you, Pete and Diane. 15 minutes again yesterday. That's day 42 in 2022 of 15 every day. What a guy. That's fantastic. And yes, you did. And so did Owen. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for your help. Carl, it's come to a pretty pass, has it not, when the guests have to send in their own jingle. But sorry about that this morning. Carl, I enjoyed the webinar last night, but I was too shy to show my face. Oh, Moaz. You needn't have been worried about that. There were others who were showing their face, I think, for the first time last night. It is lovely to see everyone in a slightly different context. Bon dia. I'm a bit more bossy when it comes. I don't like Zoom. I really do not. This is my favorite environment. Not at all keen on Zoom. It crashes on me. It's hard to manage. And, people are eating you can see people eating their dinner while you're presenting. Because that's fair enough. There's no reason why they shouldn't. But it's in what area of sharing information, like in a classroom or a workshop or a lecture room, is it? It's become excuse me. It's become completely okay for people to sit there and wander about without trousers on, put their trousers on their head, do what they want while you're doing your thing, presenting information. There they are. There's a sea of. I know you can switch to you can look at yourself on speaker view and your guest. But when you go to gallery view, you see what's going on in people's houses. And it's almost like, kids, when small children play hide and seek and they hide behind a tree and you can see their body, but you can't see their eyes. And because they can't see you, they think you can't see them. That's what grown-ups are like on Zoom now, isn't it? Wandering about half naked, eating dinner, eating, cold beans out of a can. Like, what did he just say? And then shuffle off and shuffle back again. Honestly, give me StreamYard anytime. Today in Portugal. Oh, Michelle, sorry, I didn't read that. Bon dia, Carl, and everyone. Hope today finds everyone happy and well. Today in Portuguese history number 2, 2021, Marcelino da Mata, the most decorated Portuguese military officer. Like wallpaper comes to mind, doesn't it? The most decorated Portuguese military officer. Did people flock? See what I did there? To that ceremony of decoration for Marcelino da Mata, most decorated Portuguese military officer in the history of Portuguese army, dies of COVID-19. Oh no! Mata was a controversial figure as a black man born in Portuguese Guinea. He was seen as a traitor by African rebels. My goodness, wow. Controversial. Amazing. Thank you this morning, Prof. Eusebio. Bon dia todos from Antonio F. How you doing, Antonio? Talking of our forum, so glad that you're so kind, Antonio F, in the forum as well as on here. Bon dia, Gumpers. Long Thursday, but Friday. Happy Friday is here. That's how it is for me as well. You and me both, Gary, right? Busy Fridays. And so that means that when it gets to Friday morning, it feels for me like my weekend has begun already, especially in your company, everybody. I could hear the surf last night from my appointment. So it is very choppy and noisy. Does that relax you? That sounds, asked Michelle, who sent me the most amazing video, which I might say for Monday. Is it a cassowary? Just these birds looking like emus or ostriches wandering about our front yard. It's quite incredible. Share that with you next week. So does that relax you, or is it a little intense of late? And Cindy B, is that you? No, we don't have. It's not Cindy B. I was going to say we don't have a picture of Cindy B. We might have a picture in our Guess Who series, but not so far in the pictures I've shown you. Let me go with that. And yesterday's mystery tux. Is this Kurt Russell? Now, the thing is, I'm not aware that Kurt Russell actually watches the show, but I'm going to go with no for the time being. So not Kurt Russell, that picture. Suze, what's going on? Lovely picture. Very good. And so good guess, but no, not Kurt Russell. And if you are listening, Kurt Russell, hi. Bon dia, Nubianet. Thanks for that. Thanks, but what for? Confused of Stockwell. I'm confused as well. I didn't even see that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, says Nubianet to you. We'll find out. Don't worry. St. Catherine is here as well. Bon dia, Carl. Bon dia to you, Kate. How are you? Well, I hope. Maybe see you later on. It's so good to see Phil yesterday. So we shared Phil Cooklin's Phil Cooklin's videos yesterday, and it's going to become a regular thing. Cindy B incidentally does like the infinitely relaxing sound of surf. She's a beach person. So Phil, after popular demand, people loving Phil's voice yesterday, his mellifluous tones, we will have Phil's Thing as a regular thing, and it probably will be on a Feelgood Friday. Okay, so he'll be sending in videos as a matter of course from now on, and I had a lovely lunch with him yesterday. He's delighted to do so, or all of that manifestation, law of attraction kind of stuff. Brian, were you the guy who asked one of the first questions last night? Oh, look at this, chatting across, yeah. You knew that was going to happen, Prof. I heard that you should not bring your car from the US and just buy one in Portugal. It is probably the best advice, quite frankly, unless you're really attached to it and it's a collectible and you're prepared to spend loads of money doing it. It is probably better to buy here. There may be people in the comments who have something to say about that, but it's a right old faff importing a car. What is my fellow Gumpers' thoughts on this? Thanks. Yeah, I mean, from my personal opinion, for what it's worth, get a new one here. And your car prices are good, aren't they? There are people selling cars for more than they bought them for over in the United States at the moment. Seller's market right now. Abortion and COVID this morning. I'm off to the bunker. Yes, Prof. Louise is here. Hey, Louise, how are you? I hope you're well this morning. Good to see you here. And I believe that the Tux Gent is T-Duck. Let's leave that hanging there like a bad smell just for a little bit longer. Bon dia, guten Morgen, Gary. Filomena todos from Wiesbaden, Germany. Busy at work. I may have to drop off. Have a sleep. That when work gets tough, take a nap. Still waiting, not that kind of dropping off, I suspect. Still waiting for our visas to be approved. Hopefully soon. Fingers crossed for you, Bossort. Very difficult to get compliance on a US car, my understanding, says a Prof to you, OLP, whereas most European cars are built to the same standard. But still, importing from outside of Portugal has its problems, especially from the UK. I mean, that's a bit of a nightmare. Buy here is what I would suggest. Obviously, that's not the only opinion available. Everyone's got an opinion, haven't they? And on this, there will be, I think the opinions will tend to sway towards not importing cars from the United States unless they are very, very precious and unique. Okay, Nubianet, thank you for your daily Portuguese history and information. I thought it might have been. And yes, underwriting that. We love your input, Prof, and your sense of humor, which doesn't go unnoticed as well. You haven't yet made a reference about drying laundry yet this morning, but I suspect it's going to be coming. It's in the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, as is the laundry here in Portugal. Take that, foreigners. Okay, I'm going to read you the currency update. Some people were hearing the term currency update earlier on were thinking, Carl, we need to know, have the GDP figures impacted the US dollar and euro rates, or GBP and euro rates? So let's do that right now. Thank you to Sarah from Spartan FX for this. As previously mentioned, as we come into 2022, we expected volatility to come from COVID restrictions, future COVID variants, and central banks' decisions on interest rates. Recently, we have seen volatility from the latter. So with the GBP euro, last week, the Bank of England increased interest rates as expected. Inflation also increased, and analysts predict they will raise rates again in March and May. Meanwhile, despite the ECB and Christine Lagarde's previous insistence that an interest rate hike wasn't likely this year, they have finally conceded. They play games, don't they? Rates may need to rise as inflation hit a record high. Analysts are now pricing in 10 basis points of rates hikes by June 2022 and 50 by December. That sounds ominous. That would still only take rates to 0.60%, and the pound will still benefit from higher level of rates. The pound also fell against the euro due to the release of Sue Gray's report. and the police investigation of Partygate over there in Downing Street. He's Teflon though, isn't he? He's a partying frying pan, that man. It gained some ground as interest rates were raised and COVID restrictions are now being removed sooner than expected. However, the cost of living crisis and the increase in energy costs are still weighing heavily on the pound. Yeah. Can you believe this? If you're not from the UK, you may not have heard that the electricity bills, average UK electricity bills going to go up by 50%? In one go this year. Today, Friday, we have GDP growth rate for the fourth quarter of 2021 and month on month in the UK. Economists expect a 0.20 contraction in December, but 1.1% growth overall in Q4. Any difference to these numbers could cause a significant movement. And who doesn't like a significant movement in the morning in GBP euro? However, they have come in as expected, 0.2% and 1%. I didn't understand all of that. I'll be honest with you. I think I have a sort of mild case of dyscalculia, and these sorts of things I can't compute very well. But others will have understood this, and more to come on USD, US dollar, euro, US inflation figures. CPI surprised the market with a more positive result. Consumer prices rose to 7.5%. This higher than expected. US CPI data supported the buck, another term for the US dollar, as you know, and I think we're going to find out what the etymology of that. It also gave way to speculation of a more aggressive stance by the Fed in March. However, it's the euro that's been the best performer. It lurched higher as the markets were quick to react to the change in sentiment by the ECB on a rate hike in 2022. We have mentioned on previous webinars that data releases sentiment. Natural disasters and pandemics often affect exchange rates. This also includes conflict and war. Yes, of course. The other risks to these pairs is Russia conflict with Ukraine. It looks as though Britain will be involved in any Western action. However, the European countries are closer in proximity. So give them a call. Actually, you can. There's a phone number for. We don't normally do this, but Spartan, you can give them a buzz. Ben or Neil 0203. That's a London code. 9840450, or just find out about Spartan in the directory, in our directory. And buck is an informal reference to the $1 that may trace its origins to the American colonial period when deerskins, buckskins, were commonly traded for goods. The buck also refers to the US dollar as a currency that can be used both domestically and internationally. So yes, still the global currency, isn't it, of choice. I'll put Spartans. Actually, let me just cut and paste that now. Bear with me a moment. Slow moving vehicle, as I am this morning after a late night last night, hanging out with lots of people who are making their way to Portugal. There you go. Spartan FX 0203 984 04. I'm mixing up my O's and my zeros there, but you've got the number in the comments right now. 0203. Let me do it properly, all in the same way. 9840450. Speak to Ben or Neil to open up a free account there. Let's get back to you. Oh my goodness, it's 9 o'clock already. How does this happen? This is the quickest 30 minutes of my day, I tell you. And I knew Pete would be back with a Zoom comment. It's not just because it's bigger. It's just learning how to use it. You're probably right. I only use it once a week, and I have a downer on it, which doesn't help. It's a bit like Microsoft Teams. My heart sinks every time I use Microsoft Teams, and that is not the right attitude. I understand that. Things that you love perform well for you, don't they, usually? And the opposite is true as well. Bon dia todos. Another super day in the fabulous Barrada. Circling to get our sopa de pedra later. So stone soup. We haven't talked about stone soup for a very long time, have we? And we will do that soon. We'll come back to stone soup. I've not made it at home. Stone soup. Yeah, we might talk to Filomena about it. It's just limbering up in the green room. Filomena is here, everybody. Just say a couple more hellos, and then we'll say a lovely big hello to Filomena herself. So unless, what's this about gas guzzlers? This is what I thought about autos, says OLP. So unless you love your gas guzzler, I wouldn't bother. So chiming in with the same sort of sentiment as me there. Leave it at home. Sell it. Enjoy the money and invest in a new one here. Jerry has got some great advice on buying a motor. Here on this side of the water. We will help you in that department, OLP. Good morning, everyone from Gemini. And I didn't get the audio. See, this is another problem with Zoom. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Is it Oh, he's gone again. Oh, put your trousers on. That's Zoom. That's Zoom to me. I didn't get audio at first, so I left the room and then joined the Zoom app instead of website Zoom, and the audio worked. I'm very low tech. Yes, another tick for how excellent Zoom is there. But there's a user error though. To be fair, well, I suppose technically no, it's not. It's not a good product, but. Does Microsoft buy Zoom? Is that why it's gone so, or has it always? Anyway, but there's some thread in the forum regarding that. What's this about cars again? You can take a look there. Yes, of course. Antonio pointing us towards the forum. Good call. Laura P's here as well. Bondia getting ready to go trekking, so I'll be here just a little. We'll have a great time. Did it really say bon diarrhea? You can't say that. I'm going to start saying that to my kids though in the morning. That's really funny. And for that, we need this. And this is a cue to you for more of the same, please.
Warning. Millennials may not understand the following comfort dad jokes.
And that is a classic, isn't it? Born diarrhea. I'm so sorry I find that funny. A man of my age. But Andy started it. Not diarrhea, bon dia. That may well be a greeting in my house from now on. I'm so sorry. And only with the kids, of course. My mum's here. I wouldn't dream of saying that to my mother. She might say it to me, actually, though, funnily enough. Anyway, enough of that. That was the cue for the dad jokes this morning. And so Warren, thank you very much for that little video sequence. I think we'll also be using that on the Bubble Off Centre podcast. But your cue there for dad jokes, please, this morning, which will be the ideal compliment to my wonderful guest this morning, Filomena Pascoal from Miranda do Corvo in central Portugal this morning. How are you, Filomena?
Olá, bom dia, alegria.
Bom dia, alegria. How are you doing?
Muito bem, obrigada.
Oh, sorry. Tudo bem. Oh, muito bem. Fell at the first this morning, didn't I? But this, we hear this and we know we have a smile already.
Filomena Friday.
So good to have you here, and of course, telling us about. Well, I think we're going to be more on the cultural side this morning, aren't we? Rather than the linguistic.
We have a lot to speak about tonight. This morning. I'm still sleeping.
you as well, huh? Okay. So what is it? You've booked yourself. Is this a tour you're doing? Is this something you do yourself with your family?
No, it's for myself. But no, I mean, okay. To speak about Carnival, I thought that this month, we are in February, this month in Portugal, of course, we also celebrate Valentine's Day,
yes.
right? But to speak about something that is typically Portuguese, I have chosen Carnival.
Okay, but before we go on to that, you mentioned Valentine's. I mean,
we have lots of things.
What do we need to know about, though, when it comes to Valentine's and celebrating that particular? I mean, it's mainly
Valentine's.
Yeah. Is there a special twist? I mean, we obviously need to know how to say "I love you" and "I'm sorry," because that's the other phrase that's often said, isn't it, on Valentine's Day? The second one I know already. Just cool.
Yeah. Well, there is a difference between Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese in the way you can say "I love you."
Okay, right? Go on. Let's do it.
Yeah. So in Brazil, you can say "Eu te amo." Eu te amo. And in Portugal, it's a bit more amo-te. Amo-te.
Okay, so "eu te amo" it has got the
it has
yeah.
It's a lot warm, right? Eu te amo. But in Portugal, amo-te.
So in the morning, possibly. In the morning, it's a bit more amo-te.
Yeah, amo-te. And then eu te amo in the afternoon.
And then by the time you get to the afternoon, it's a bit more te amo.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you for your help with that. And traditional Portuguese, so we've done the greetings, but the gifts, what were the gifts like? Normal sort of stuff, or is there a special Portuguese?
It's the same all over, right? Isn't it? It's the same all over the world. So you can give whatever you think it's the most appropriate, but you know, chocolates or flowers or a nice present, well, anything. Well, but may I start answering some questions that we had last month because
Yes.
after I left, because I was not looking
Yeah.
at the question. And then when you have when you put up the questions on the screen, it was when I was not here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
may I
Also,
start with
yeah.
that?
Of course you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, well, first, I would like to answer also a lady that texted me, Sandy Tweedy. She lives on Vancouver Island, and
Oh,
she is also a student of mine, and she comes to Funchal in Madeira sometimes. So she lives in Funchal also, sometimes in Funchal, sometimes on Vancouver Island. And
wow.
she has texted me with a question. The difference between, and I'm going to write, maybe it's better to see, the between the que and the que and the porque and
Yes.
the porque.
Okay.
Okay?
So I'll
So
get those on the.
these four words.
Yeah.
Que, que, porque, porque.
Purk. Yes.
Okay? So, first of all, que and que. Yes. Sometimes they have an accent, sometimes they don't, isn't it? And the pronunciation is also a little bit different. So, without the accent is que, with the accent is que. And she said that sometimes she even noticed that the pronunciation could be a bit like key. But of course, it depends on also on the regional ways of speaking, right? So in Madeira, for example, they have an accent in Madeira, as we do have some accents in the north, in the south. And so it's natural. In Porto, they would say "que." In Porto,
Okay.
for example, they would
Yes.
say "que,"
And swear.
and
Swear as well.
so there are slight differences. But when do we use with or without the accent, right? So, for example, I can say que vinho prefere? Que vinho prefere? So I can write it. Okay.
So which wine
Que
would you like?
vinho?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Prefere. Okay. So que vinho prefere? What wine? Which wine would you prefer? Right? Or do you prefer? So que
Yeah.
vinho prefere? I can use this que when I'm asking with a noun. So after this que, I can put a noun. So que vinho prefere, que jogador é o melhor, que programa é que vês. So always this que followed with a noun, not a verb but a noun. Okay. Then if we and of course it means what, right? What. Then we also have what with o que if I have a verb coming next to it. So, for example, o que é aquela planta, for example. What is that plant? What's, o que é aquela planta? So, for example, if I say o que é aquela planta, that means what is that plant? So what's it called, or what kind of plant is it? So o que é aquela planta? In this case, after o que, we have the verb é, right? So the difference between que and o que is followed with a noun, o que is followed with a verb, right? So
Right,
far,
yeah.
so good, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Simple. Now, why do we sometimes put the accent, right, on the e, and it becomes que? This is when we put this que at the end. So at the end, for example, I can say aquela planta é o quê? Okay. So aquela planta é o quê? So I'm asking the same question. O que é aquela planta? Ou aquela planta é o quê? Right? And so this, yes. So this que, because it's at the end of the sentence, it needs this hat, and the pronunciation is, like I said, with a nasal, right? Our nasal sounds.
Yeah.
So que. Aquela planta é o quê? And so, for example, if you want to ask just what, you would say o quê? O quê? Okay. So if it's just on its own or the last word, you need this hat. Okay. Then
that's a nice way of putting it. Yes, wear the hat. Remember to wear the hat. Yes.
Wear the hat if it's at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Then the same happens with porque and porquê. So porque can have two meanings. It can be why and because. So, for example, I can say porque é que chegou atrasado. Okay? So, for example, porque é que chegou atrasado? Why did you arrive late? Why were you late? Right? Porque é que chegou atrasado? So, porque is why in this case. Then you could answer, for example, porque I don't know, because porque tive acidente, okay? Because I had an accident. So, porque tive acidente, porque is because it's the answer, right? So, if it's a question, porque, why? If it's the answer, porque, because. Yeah. And then, again, if you want to put the word why at the end of the sentence, then you put the hat, right? So you can say, chegou atrasado porquê?
Yeah.
Right? Chegou atrasado porquê? Right? So you came late, why? So that is the explanation why we have the hat sometimes, why we don't, and the differences. I think this is enough to make things clear, right?
Thank you, Michelle, for this. Carl, you need to reschedule your late night so you can concentrate. They're all thinking, okay, test him, Filomena. But no, we're not going to do. It's all very well for everyone watching, but I will have to replay this. She's quite right. This is something that you probably need to have repeated, isn't it? And spend a little time on. But that's a fantastic explanation. And I think if anybody does watch that segment over and over again, it will become clear. And I'm sure your lady from Vancouver Island, forgive me, what was her name again?
Sandy.
I'm sure that's been very helpful to Sandy and others here as well. The people who only tune in, I think, or come especially when you're here. Lucy's here this morning, for example. Bon dia, Filomena. Good morning, bon dia, Lucy. And yay, Filomena. So that's been very helpful to Rebel Mama as well. And jumping straight into it there, as we did, and thank you for doing that, Filomena. We missed the greetings to you. So let's have a look at who wanted to say hello to you earlier on that we missed out on. Antonio F. Bon dia, so capital. Big day to you there from Antonio F. And OLP as well. Bon dia, Filomena. And what's this? That's not a greeting. That's Laura P explaining herself about her Facebook account, I think. Dad joke warning, the DJW, fantastic. I was going to join Procrastinators Anonymous, but never got around to it. Hey, very good. Michelle's glad to see you as well. Bon dia, Filomena.
Bon dia, Michelle.
We have as well. Oh, OLP asking you a question, talking of festas, which we will cover as well.
Well, I think... I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think we'll leave Carnival for later because now I have a long list. I have a long list of questions from last month, Carl.
Yes, and there are more coming in. Simone, good morning to you, Simone. Fantastic. Simone in Cape Town, bon dia, Filomena as well. And on the matter of Valentine's, my local pasteleria does heart-shaped pastéis de nata.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's...
Yeah, lots of cakes. Not just pastéis de nata. Now, lots of cakes are in the shape of a heart. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have an online Portuguese course like your own website? You tutor one-to-one, don't you, rather than running a
One to
course?
one or in a small group, yeah. But always, yes. If you contact me through my email, tripsforbrits@gmail.com, then we can speak about it. Yeah.
I will make sure you get that, Moaz. And with this to be added to the list, it wasn't me. What
Não
sort of
fui
trouble-
eu. Não fui eu.
Não foi eu. Não
Não.
foi eu.
Okay, I'm going to write it.
How
Não fui
that?
eu.
If you need to get out of any trouble at all in Portuguese, you've come to the right place. So no one's going to believe that, Jackie, are they? But we'll do it. We'll do that for you anyway. There you go. That's going in the comments for that text you need to send this morning, perhaps. Or is that what you need on Valentine's? I don't know. But there we go. That's in the comments for you now. So back to the questions then. Sorry to disturb you and interrupt you there, Filomena, but it's important that we say hello to you properly, I think.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay, so next thing about the name of the book. Remember that we spoke about the book, Moa Haga's book, that was a translation that I did with Moa.
I didn't know what you were talking about for a moment. I was thinking,
I know. So Joy,
Yeah.
Joy D has asked about the name of the book. So
Okay, great.
the book is this one. Is História do Navio Engarrafado Encantado, Liberdade.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you look online, you can also buy it online. So you just Google for História do Navio Engarrafado Encantado, Liberdade.
Okay. You might have to write that down for us in the chat as well. But
Of course, this is the Swedish version. If someone wants the Swedish version, this is the Swedish.
Could you not?
This is the original.
Do you want to do a quick reading from that?
Sorry?
Do you want to do a quick reading from the Swedish version?
Yeah, you can do it for yourself. Look at the. By the way, look at the drawings. Right?
They're great, aren't they?
The illustrations are great. The same in the Portuguese version, of course, because Moore is an excellent artist. So
wow, a writer and an artist. Fantastic.
She is a fantastic artist, and she has illustrated the whole book. So apart from the story itself, it's also amazing, full of amazing pictures done by Moore.
Absolutely, very beautiful. Great stuff.
Yeah, they are. They are fantastic. So this is the book. In case you want to buy, as I said, it's you can order online too. So then another question from last month, Suze Kosola, I believe. She asked about how to pronounce her name, the name pronunciation of her name. And then Pamela Smith was right. She answered that people will probably call her Susana, as it's the closest Portuguese name. But speaking about the sound of the S, because her name is S-U-S-E. So when the S is at the beginning is the normal sound of S, right? Like sapato, shoe, sapato, you say the usual S sound, sol, for example. But then if you have an S between two vowels, like her name, S-U-S-E, right? It's between the U and the E. If you have an S between two vowels, then the pronunciation of that S is as if it was a Z. So it's Z. Like you say casa, right? You say casa. Which is different from Spanish, because it's the same word in Spanish, but in Spanish it's casa with the same sound of S, casa, but in Portuguese it's Z, so casa, casa. There is a difference in the Portuguese pronunciation.
That works. So she'll be a Suze.
Suze, yes, Suze. Okay. And of course, we also have the other sound of the S when the S comes at the end, right? Yeah. And then it's the sh. Right? So, for example, you say flores, flowers, flores, right? So the last sound is a bit of a sh, right?
And
So these are the three sounds of the S. S at the beginning, or double S, if you have a double S in the middle of the word, like professor, for example.
Yeah.
But then you have the Z sound if it comes between two vowels, and then you have sh if it's at the end, or if it comes before a consonant, like for example, castanho, the color brown, right? Or castanha also, but castanho, you have the S and then the T. So you also have this before the next consonant. Okay.
That is really helpful. This is my mum who sneaks on while I'm asleep and messes about in the studio. This is the thing. That's the thing she was struggling with the s and sh sound. So I can explain it to her.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Now you can explain it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, moving on to another question from Elra. I think Elra Lind. I'm not sure if it's the correct pronunciation. She asked if the Portuguese would identify, so if we identify ourselves as Iberian, Latin, or Lusitanian.
Oh.
Well, we are all that, right? We are Iberian, Latin, Lusitanian, maybe Latin, but for example, I have a joke with a Spanish friend of mine, Juan Luis. He lives in Salamanca in Spain. And whenever we write to each other, sometimes we put at the end, Viva los Iberos. So, hooray for the Iberian, right? So, Viva los Iberos.
You're united as Iberians there. So
Iberians, yes. Yeah. So this is like a private joke between me and Juan Luis, but we use that as a greeting at the end, you know, as a farewell. We say Viva los Iberos to finish our email. Okay, so this, but of course we are all of those Iberian, Latin, and Lusitanian. Okay. Then Joy D has asked about the blue.
Amazing. This is so thoughtful of you, because so much came in, didn't it, after you went last time?
A lot. That's why I'm trying to go on. Let me go on, because it's a long list. So Joy D asked about the plural of words ending in M, if we remove the M and add an NS. And yes, that is the case, exactly like that. For example, you have the word homem, ending with an M, right? Men. And then if you want to say men in the plural, you change the M and put the NS, homens. Do you want me to write it? So homem and then homens, right? Homem, homens, for example. So yes, the plural of a word with an M, it's with an S, yes, but before putting the S, we change the M into an N. Okay, that is the rule.
There you go.
Okay, that's right. Then another question from Big Boy Crypto Pants.
It was worth it to hear you say that.
So he said, is Brazilian Portuguese a lot different from European Portuguese? I would say yes, right?
Yeah.
Of course, there are lots of things in common. It's the same language, but it's a bit like British English and American English. So there are expressions that are different. The pronunciation, as we have seen today with eu te amo and amo-te. So there are differences between the two kind of Portuguese. And the vowels in Brazil, the vowels are, and speaking, about the language itself, the phonetics, is the vowels are more open. So they are, it's clearer for a foreigner to understand Brazilian Portuguese than European Portuguese, because we close our vowels a lot. We speak like we close the vowels, and in Brazil they open, right? For example, they say bom dia, right? Bom dia. They say this j, we just bom dia, right? Is a bit drier, right? Bom dia. But yes. basically it's different. Then Capricorn 12. Hello, Capricorn 12.
This is a roll call. You remember yourself here and the questions you asked last time. This is amazing.
This he said, falar, falam, falamos, fala, falo, tips to remember the correct use of each word. Well, what I would advise him is to study the endings, and because the endings of the verb, they tell you what person is it about, right? So, for example, and he was speaking, he was mentioning the verb to speak, falar. So, for example, if he remembers that the O, okay, I'm going to write, okay. So the first ending, and of course, you better remember the order that we usually have in grammar. Okay, so the I, you, he, she, we, and then they. So for example, the ending u, the o, but we say u at the end. Falo, for example, if it's the verb falar, falo is I speak. Falas with an AS is you, informal, you speak. Fala, it can be the formal you speak or he speaks or she speaks, so fala. And then falamos, we speak, and falam with an AM at the end, although it seems it's not an it's not an M there, but it is. It's the nasal. Remember that I said that the M is always to make the vowel nasal. So we don't pronounce that M as M, but falam. So imagine that there is an O there. It's a nasal on falam. So, for example, with these endings, the verb falar, falo, falas, fala, falamos, falam. If he knows the endings, then he can have any verb conjugated like that. So, for example, comprar, to buy, compro, compras, compra, compramos, compram, etc. Of course, these are the verbs that end with AR. Then you have the others, and we are speaking about the regular ones, of course. And then we have the others that are also very similar endings. So the first is always the O, and then it's the ES, then it's the E, then it's the EMOS, and then it's the EM. So, for example, if you have a verb like comer, right?
Yeah.
For example, like comer, you have como, comes with an ES, come with an E, comemos, and then comem with an EM at the end. Again, this comem is a nasal, right? Comem. So that is the way. If you want some tips, tips to remember the correct use, is just to memorize the endings, and then if you know, if you see a word with that ending, you already know if it's we or they or I, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Thank you
then,
so much,
James.
Valley. Well, there's more. Then look at this. People are enjoying you here.
Okay, thank you.
Big boy crypto pants.
Everyone's nicknames. Well,
Hopefully
it's the name on the screen, so I have to, right? So then,
before we go on, because this is a really good illustration of something that you were saying earlier on. Simone from Cape Town. Look, what's the perfect? So you can demonstrate here, can't we? And this is a really good way to remember it as well, because the right way, I think, to say kashkash is kashkash, isn't it? With
kash. As I said, the S comes before a consonant, right?
Yeah.
The C. So it's sh. This kash, and then the same sh at the end, because the S is at the end. So it's kashkash.
Yep, incredible. Yep. It's a Good Morning Portugal Lazy Show. We're getting a Portuguese lesson for free. You are!
Yes, you are.
Actually, you know what? If you would like to buy, No,
May I
hold on.
go on, James? Sorry, James, not James. It's about
Oh,
James now.
You may
May
not
I
go
go
on.
on, Carl?
No, you may not. You may not just a moment because I want to
Okay.
encourage people to buy you a cup of coffee, which because
Okay,
that's your
thank you.
that's your PayPal
Yeah,
address.
my
As well.
PayPal. Yeah.
Okay. If you want to get in touch with Filomena about anything to do with learning Portuguese or translation, you see how amazing she is, and you can get a sense of what she can do for you. For a lot of British and American clients, trips for Brits with
And
a
all,
number.
and also other nationalities. I
And
have Dutch and French and lots of other nationalities. Yes.
there you go. And if you want to buy her a cup of coffee this morning, tripsforbrits@gmail.com is also the PayPal address. You may continue now.
Okay, thank you. Then, James Holy.
Yes, indeed.
He mentioned that Mia has recommended a website that conjugates verbs in Portuguese, and he didn't remember which one. I don't know which one Mia recommended, but I can recommend European Portuguese.info. So if you look at European Portuguese.info, then you can have lots of things there. You can choose the items for example, everything to do with consonants, vowels, verb conjugators. So you have a verb conjugator, numbers, etc. Right? So that is my recommendation. European Portuguese.info. Okay.
Fantastic.
Then Rafael Di Furia, right? Rafael Di Furia asked
Please.
about the difference between queria and gostaria. And you
Ah,
answer that. Actually, you answer that. And very well, Carl, you answered very well. So, so the difference, for example, queria café. He asked about, for example, when I want a coffee. So you can say queria café because I would like a coffee. Gostaria is literally the translation of I would like, but this is to express a wish. Something that a wish that is something in the future that you wish very much to do, right? So, for example, you can say gostaria de visitar Africa, right? So, something that is a dream for you, then is gostaria. But queria is in everyday language. I literally queria is I would want, but translated into English, I would like. Okay? So I hope that was clear. Then, about the question of it's a never-ending list. Abu Mohammed.
He's
Okay.
known as, we have to call him Moaz now. He's now changed his name.
Okay, but last month it was Abu Mohammed.
He might change it again. He might change it again. But this is for Moaz, who's here this morning, and Chris Capricorn 12. I think he's having a stressful boarding of 3 hours getting from a car park to a seat on a plane just boarded with 4 minutes to go. Wow! So he missed that. But if you rewind and listen, Chris, the question you asked last time has been answered for you, Capricorn 12.
Yes, it has.
On to Moaz.
Okay, so
Abu, sorry, you've got
Abu
Yeah.
Mohammed. So he asked, do the Portuguese add alegria to bom dia? Well, this sometimes we do, but it's not. I mean, it's like in English when you say "see you later, alligator," right? I mean,
yes.
It's exactly the same. You wouldn't say that to the mayor, for example.
No, I think
right?
the Queen started that, I think.
Yeah, but it's the same. You can say "bom dia, alegria" to someone that is a friend and you are familiar with, right? So, but you don't say "bom dia, alegria" all the time. But you can.
It's a bit more friendly than saying alligator, isn't it?
Yes,
so alegria means joy, doesn't it? Which is what's so lovely.
Yes. No, but it's just because it's to rhyme. Like see you later, alligator. So to rhyme, and bom dia, alegria is also a way to rhyme. Okay. Yeah. So then, João Ferreira, okay, João Ferreira, it's no question, but he mentioned that the verbs in the second person plural are still much used in the vast northern Portugal areas. So, okay, I'm sorry, João. He's right, of course, because I said there is no use of learning. It's no use learning the voz, right, in Portuguese, the second person plural, so you in the plural. And I said it's no use learning voz because nobody speaks like that anymore. But I'm sorry, of course, in the north, yes, they do use that form. It's still common to use, and also, for example, in the area of Castelo Branco, Fundão, near the border to Spain, they also use that still. So I'm sorry, João. Okay.
No, I've got to stop you there as well, because that to me is a lovely insight into Portuguese culture as well. Now, I've noticed this since I've been in Portugal, where Portuguese people are quite direct with each other, aren't they? And he heard something he disagreed with, and he told you, didn't he?
Of course.
And then you looked at it, and you said, okay, yeah, fair enough. Sorry, I got that wrong. And that's it.
Yes, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that about Portuguese people. And because sometimes when I've been with Portuguese people, friends, brothers, and I'm thinking, oh, they're so direct with each other. This would end badly in England. But it's just, I think it's very healthy. And
no, I mean, I appreciate when people, because of course, when I speak with my experience, right? I mean, I speak because I live in central Portugal, and it's not, let's say, normal for us to use the second plural, second person plural. We don't use vós. And if you go to Lisbon, for example, I mean, you don't use vós. If you go to the Algarve, maybe we don't. So because it's our everyday life situation, there are some books, for example, for foreigners to learn Portuguese, that they don't even mention the vós anymore, because the majority, let's say the majority. Okay, I'm sorry, João, but. Maybe the majority of the country doesn't use vós anymore. But that is, of course, this is just to make it simpler. I mean, instead of learning another ending, the endings that I have mentioned before, the O, the AS, etc. We usually don't teach the vós ending because it's not very commonly used in the majority of the cases, right? Okay.
And talking of books, thank you for that, Filomena. Thank you. Talking of books, are there any workbooks available to read and then do language exercises, stories, and then exercises to do, as I believe in repetition? And we've got lovely Prosecco Peggy's here as well. I think that was echoed later on in terms of repetition, because Peggy reckons
repetition. Yes, of course, you need repetition. Yes.
Okay.
About books, I mean, I can't think of any book with stories and exercises, but I can.
We need to write it. We need to write it. We need to write our own one and maybe we get James Holly to help on that, and we'll put a little bit of smut in there as well, and everyone will love it. I remember my parents quarrelling. They would talk as if they were against each other's ideas about Trotsky, but it was just a couple arguing. Yeah, there you go. There's that. What I was talking about. That's the directness, isn't it? And
even when we are speaking normally, let's say, we are not having an argument, and people think that we are because we are so passionate, when we speak with each other, and then it seems that we are having a fight, and we are not.
Yeah, and OLP wants to say, how do you say in Portuguese? Can you hang your laundry in the backyard, please? Don't go there. Do not go there.
No.
Owen, what could go better for my day? It is simple, really. It is Filomena Friday. Your laughter and your smile makes it all worthwhile. Look at that. It rhymes.
Oh, how nice, Owen. Thank you.
I think a lot of people would echo that. Better to learn Portuguese.
He's a lovely person. Yeah.
He's marvelous, isn't he? Takes one to know one. And Filomena, you should write a workbook on learning Portuguese. That would be such a
maybe. Why not?
We'll talk to Jerry about that. Let's get a budget for that. Let's get a budget that includes lots of Portuguese.
Okay, Carl, may I go on because the list is long?
Have you got more? We've got
Of course
20
I
minutes.
do. Of course I do. So,
We've got 20
Jeannie.
minutes to go till the end of the show. We need to do freshness as well. But go on, carry on.
Okay, Jeannie Mondelers, I think.
Oh, yeah, Jeannie.
She said, do you know the app Say Hi? And if so, what do you think of the translation to Portuguese? So I have to say, sorry, Jeannie, I don't know. I don't know this app. I know that you speak and you have the voice translator, but I have never used it, so I can't give my opinion on that. Then
Okay.
Sam Wells said, what level Portuguese does one need to get citizenship? The level is the A2. Okay, A2.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Then Elsa Lind also said, when it comes to capitals, just use the English rules. It's the same. Well, not quite, right? Because as it was very well explained by Abu Mohammed, days of the week, months of the year, for example, are not in capital letters. Okay. Then I'm rushing to prevent you to speak. Okay. So to prevent you from speaking. So Bjarnis Elena Mitchell, she said, is there a cheat sheet that is very it's hard for Portuguese available for learning Portuguese?
Yeah.
Something with days of the week, numbers, months, and maybe a grammatical table to explain the different grammar. Well, as I said, that European Portuguese.info. If you go there, you may find a few things that are useful. Then again, Capricorn 12, he asked to pronounce the word "seen" slowly. And again, Carl, you did a great job because you explained it very well. It's a nasal sound, no M sound at the end, right? So congratulations, Carl. The word is "seen," right?
Seen. This is connected. Look, we've got another one.
A question from Mrs. M.
Yes, look, what does the ending change? So it's not unlike the same sound we're talking about there. In fact, it is the same sound. So I've tried to decode it. She said words ending with "jane," like "barajane," "garajane," but I don't see a pattern. So what is that? What words ending with GEM there? Is there a pattern, or isn't there? And that's why she can't see it.
No. I mean, garagem, barragem. No, I can't see. I mean, not at the moment. Probably, I would say about a place, but no, I can't see anything special to do with the ending of GEM. No, garagem, barragem.
She likes the pattern, so she's looking. But what we can say about that, of course, is the S sound will be barragem.
Garagem and the what the.
The plural. When we were talking about the
S.
S's.
Oh, the garagens. Yes, garagens is the N. Yes. Garagens with an NS. Barragens with an NS. Yes.
Very good. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Then solo 50 plus expat Portugal. Suggestions for Netflix or Portuguese TV for learning Portuguese while being entertained. Well, you are very lucky because just yesterday, a Portuguese series started on Netflix, and actually it started in 198 countries. Okay, really? Yesterday. It's called Até que a vida nos separe, until life do us part.
Oh, yes.
Até que a vida nos separe. That is the name of the Portuguese series. It's eight episodes, 45 minutes each episode. So you can watch that on Netflix. And as I said, on the Portuguese TV, you can see the Joker, the contest with more or less like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where you have the questions on the screen and they read everything. So probably it's also a good way to listen to the pronunciation and looking at the questions at the same time. Okay.
All right.
Then Fiona World, how do you ask a shop assistant when you need to top up credit on your mobile phone? Well, you could say, queria carregar o telemóvel com 10 euros, for example. Por favor. So, queria carregar o telemóvel com 10 euros, por favor.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the great thing.
Ty Johnson. Then Ty Johnson.
Did everybody ask the question last time? Did everybody from our whole community ask a question last time?
I think so. And the problem was that the questions were put up on the screen after I left. Okay, so who is to blame? I wonder who is to blame. Okay, so
Right.
Ty Johnson said, "I wish there was more Portuguese TV with Portuguese subtitles." Well, on your remote, usually on your remote, you have a button that you can press for the teletexto. So for example, for people who are deaf, right, and they can't listen to the sound, then they can choose the subtitles even in Portuguese programs, right? So usually, if you look at your remote, your remote control, try to find a button that is there that can activate the Portuguese subtitles. Okay?
There you go, easy.
Yeah. Then to finish, several people have mentioned Spanish or French being helpful to learn Portuguese. And then Rebel Mama said 80% of the words are the same in Portuguese and Spanish, but the pronunciation is different. Yes. So the Portuguese, again, as I said before, it's we have more closed sounds, and Spanish is also more open sounds, and the words are pronounced more clearly because the sounds are more open. And also because Portuguese is a language based on the stress on the words, right? So you can say the word, but if you don't say the word, if you don't pronounce it correctly with the stress in the right spot, then people don't understand you. It's as simple as that, because the language is based on the stress. And in Spanish, you don't have that so much, because let's say that the word is said, the whole word is said the same way, let's say, in a simple way. So you don't have to stress a part of the word as much as we do in Portuguese. Okay.
I've noticed this. This is the one you pointed out for me, wasn't it? Gasolio. Instead of, I was saying gasoleo for three whole years.
In Spanish you can say that, but in Portuguese you have to stress, right?
Yeah, and people don't understand it. You're right. People don't get it if you.
No, because people, it's not a question of making an effort, because sometimes people say, "Oh, people don't even make an effort to understand." No, it's not, because even if we do make an effort, but because the language is so based on the stress, and the right way to stress the word is essential to understand the word. Okay. So Rebel Mama, this is a promise to Rebel Mama. She asked everyone about the difference between you, because I spoke about you and su, but I will leave that for next for next month, because it's a long
we do have to some things I think if we're going to get some festa talk in now.
Well, I would like to speak about Portuguese Carnival, right? Because of the February tradition. Okay,
let me thank you for all of that, Filomena. That was amazing. Okay, so well done, everybody. Thanks for all the questions. Thank you, Filomena, for answering all of those. This is one of those shows where you have to watch it back and you'll get a hell of a lot of extra value. Okay, so you should have your own YouTube channel, apparently. I think I would agree.
Yeah, maybe.
Always indicate.
Yes, Wes. When you have an accent on any word with an accent, you stress where the accent is all the time.
Yeah. All right. And my teacher used to emphasize the music of the language. That's a nice way of looking at it as well. That's brilliant. Yes, superb. Okay. Shall I show you?
So can we speak about Carnival then?
Oh, go on then.
Well, Careto de Pudense, okay? The Careto de Pudense. It's typical from the north. Although today, to announce today's show, you put up a picture on the the teaser there. That was the wrong picture, because that picture. That picture has nothing to do with Careto de Pudense, although it's also it's not. That is a picture from Miranda do Douro. It's also in the north. It's also in the north, but it's nothing to do with Carnival either. Yes, that is Careto. That is Careto. So the Careto de Pudense is in Pudense, in the village of Pudense. the town of Macedo de Cavaleiros, district of Bragança, right up in the north. And it has become a part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity in December 2019. Okay, so you have what is called Entrudo Chocalheiro, and I have sent you some photos. Yes, these are some photos I took in the village that are very nice pictures of this careto. And I have also sent you a video that probably it would be nice for people to see how they that is okay. That is I've sent you a video.
Yeah, okay,
One of the videos I sent you, I know that I've sent you lots of things, but one of the videos I've sent is is with the careto.
Is it men in red
The
jackets?
first one, the first video I sent, the first video that I sent.
Okay, just shout if it's not this one. Is it that one?
No, the first one. No,
Is it not that one either?
No, a lot earlier than that. A lot earlier than that.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. And this was presumably on the WhatsApp.
I know,
right?
I've sent you lots of things. I think.
Oh, okay. No, but is this people dancing on a stage one? Oh no, I know the one you mean. Okay, no, the problem
the first one, the very first one, yes, with the careto, with the colorful costumes.
Okay, now is this one that you've made or one that's on?
No, that is a video from the internet. Yeah. But we are not watching. Yes, that's it. But we are not watching the video.
Carry on talking. Carry on talking.
Okay. No problem. I can carry on forever. So, so the festivities are from the 26th of February to the 1st of March this year. You can go, and I advise you to visit Pudense. I'm going there too. So if you go, you can say hello. Okay. So I'm going there on the 26th of February and the 27th. So the festivities are from the 26th to the 1st of March. Okay. I'm just going to read a little bit of a text written by a lady from the University of Trás-os-Montes and Alto Douro. So the appearance of the caretos.
Should we play this? Because we won't be able to hear you while we're doing this. So let's go to the big screen.
Okay, you can play the video. Okay.
Right, here we go. Stand by. Oh, man. Just get some sound on that.
Carnaval, os caretos entram em ação. Vestem-se de cor, espalham a animação. A potência desta festa ancestral, tradição carnavalesca mais genuína de Portugal. Jucadando, de noite e de dia, com muita euforia, saltando e dançando. Jucadando, maravilhas desfilando, grupos tocando, caretos saltando. Com o fato e a máscara também as esgalhadas, o vinho e a xixi, tudo isto é divertido. Isto é demais, isto é demais. Os caretos vão chegando, as pessoas vão passando, os cidades abanando, a xixinha vai girando. Carnaval mais, carnaval mais. Os caretos chocalhão espalham diversão e agitação dentro do chocalheiro. Este ano em fevereiro, este ano em fevereiro. Os caretos chocalhão espalham diversão e agitação dentro do chocalheiro. Este ano em fevereiro, este ano em fevereiro.
Okay, Carl. Yes. So that was a video from 2015, right? But it's
Yeah.
great fun, right? It's
Yeah.
great fun. So just to
Yeah.
explain a little bit of the carretos, because I think because I think it's worthwhile. So the appearance of the carretos of the Pudens at carnival time symbolizes the farewell of winter and praises the arrival of spring. I have already mentioned once a long time ago, maybe a year ago, I have mentioned this. Carnival is thus a rite between the pagan and the religious. On the one hand, we have the excesses of wine, food, etc., as in the
Hey.
ancient Roman Saturnalia, and on the other hand, the beginning of Lent, a period of restraint in the religious calendar. The main victims of his antics are women, mainly young and unmarried. The rule is that the girl, surrounded by one of them, is subjected to the rattle ritual. You have seen, right? In the chocalhar, that chocalhar, the girl is hugged sideways, and the carreto, with rapid movements of semi-rotation of the waist, makes the rattles he carries around his waist hit the girl's buttocks, turning them into real whips, right? So the
Outrageous.
carretos are the main figures of the feast, the almost fantastic beings of these pagan rituals, handed down from parents to children, to whom everything is allowed. However, the carretos have two rules that they strictly follow. The first is to reveal their faces whenever they are inside a house or a cellar, although they are never allowed to do so in the street. The second is to spare the metaphoners, the men dressed as women, from their attacks and daring, since they are not allowed under any circumstances to bother those who present themselves equally masked with their faces covered, hiding their identity. In the footsteps of the adult carretos, follow their replicas on a reduced scale, that is the facanitos. These facanitos
Wow.
are the children. This because tradition dictates that male children should dress up and behave in a similar way to the tutelary figures, to the adults, which proves the vitality of the Transmontana tradition, this tradition of Trás-os-Montes. So this is a text written by Mariana Especiosa do Rosário from the University of Trás-os-Montes and Alto Douro. And I would also like to thank Mr. António Carneiro from Casa do Carreto that has sent me the program for this year. So thank you, Mr. Carneiro. And you have already put up on the screen the program from this year. But I can just tell you in very, very quickly. Yes, that is the program. So very, very quickly, we have, for example, you can have walkings. There are several walkings, organized walkings to know the region. That is a lovely, lovely region. Then there are the traditional stalls, market stalls, where you can have plenty of things, with also the taverns. Yes, there is one of the walkings there. Then you can also have a little cruise on the dam. Albufeira do Azibo is a dam that is quite near, and so you can have a cruise on the dam. Although for that you should say something in advance, and then I can send you the email, for example, or the phone number. Then you have the carretos, as you have seen, dressed up in those colorful, beautiful costumes.
They're amazing. They are amazing.
They
Filomena.
are amazing. They are wonderful.
It's made very jolly, as somebody said.
Oh,
But, I mean,
yes. It's impossible to be sad near them.
okay, but at first, when they're running down the street towards you, it looks like you've eaten the wrong mushrooms. I mean, these are funny. These are terrifying looking things, but then it's kind of made friendly and happy. And so, if I want to do this,
that picture, can you see that picture that you have there? It's a girl being hugged by the carretos, and then they shake the girl, right? The girl gets shaken, and that is a tradition. That's why they grab the girls like that.
I think I might do this on Monday then. So if I do this on Valentine's Day, I can go up to Mrs. M.
But you have to dress up as a carreto to do that.
And I have to have some bits of wood hanging from my waist.
Yes.
the smack her on the buttocks.
Yes, you have to follow the tradition.
Right,
So
okay.
the program has lots of things that are interesting, and I advise you to go and visit Pudense. Okay,
Yes.
and it's near Macedo de Cavaleiros. Okay,
Which is
that is another. That is
what's
another one. That
happening?
is
Oh, Filomena, what is going on here? This is
okay.
another second
So
suggestion.
that is another place to. But this year, that one has been cancelled this year. That one is in Torres Vedras. Torres
Right.
Vedras is halfway between Caldas da Rainha and Lisbon, about 40 kilometers away
Yes.
south from Caldas da Rainha. So the celebrations have been cancelled last year and this year also because of the pandemic. So this is a picture that I took with my friend Annie Hamilton Gibney, that lives here in Miranda. She's English. She lives here in Miranda too, in a village. And we went there to visit the carnival, and we took the picture with the winner. This was the winner of the Matrafona contest. And about that kind of contest, about that Matrafona, I have sent you another video.
Okay, let's play that
on the
roll,
stage.
please.
On the stage.
On the stage. All right, you'll
Yeah.
tell me. You wait. You shake your head if it's the wrong one. But is
Oh.
people want to see that video now? But is it this one?
Not
You
that
sent me
one.
another video.
No. It's
I
on
haven't
the
seen it.
stage. On
Okay,
the
I don't
stage.
think- I don't think I've got
About
that.
Matrafona.
Oh, I do. Yes, with all the fellas dressed up as ladies.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Now, I was a bit hesitant to play that because it's going to get me. If I'm playing somebody else's video, I might get struck off YouTube. But if I can create the image in people's minds, it was
Okay.
quite a lot of men dressed up as women, basically, and doing a pretty good job of it. Right? I mean, this seems to be the expertise center of Portugal for men dressing up as women and
Yes.
dancing and throwing shapes and having a whale of a time. But you are pictured there with the winner of that competition, are you?
Yes, that is a picture. That is my picture. Yes, with the winner of that competition that year in 2018. Yeah, in 2018.
If we want to track them down, what is their name?
The name of what?
Of that person there, because we would love to.
Matrafoners. So
Is that
I will. Matrafona. Matrafoners. Matrafoners is the name of the men dressed up as women in Torres Vedras.
Okay, and last night when we did our citizenship webinar, one of the ways of becoming citizen is to marry someone who is Portuguese, and therein lies a possibility, unless of course they're taken, which they probably are.
Yeah. Okay.
I quite like the look of this. Can anyone take part? Do you have to register?
Of course, anyone can take part. You can dress up as a woman.
Okay,
but the idea here, Carl, is to dress up
seriously
as the worst you can get, right? I mean, because you have to give the image of a badly behaved woman, right?
It's better. It gets better, doesn't it? The more we discover about this, the better it gets.
So you have to be very sexy, and so you have to dress as sexy as you can.
I can do that. Okay, brilliant.
Of course, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Now what's happening now?
That is part. Yes, that is part of the parade. The parade with the matrafonas and also the floats, the carnival floats there, and the cabeçudos. Cabeçudos is so they have this huge head on top of them. This is also a tradition in Torres Vedras. That is in the city of Torres Vedras, near you, more or less.
No idea this sort of debauchery went on every year.
And that cabeçudos. Yeah.
Incredible. Wow. And are these famous characters that we should know about?
No, those are sometimes they are, but these are just characters, just the priest and things like that. Yeah. But that is in Torres Vedras. But it has been cancelled this year. Although in the main square until the beginning of March, you can go to Torres Vedras and visit the exhibition that they have in the main square with also lots of satire about the vaccines, for example, about the COVID vaccines.
Wow.
So
okay.
you have a look. You can go there, Carl, and take a few pictures.
Fantastic. I have been there, but I just, like I said, no idea this goes on. You don't know, do you? You go to towns and cities in Portugal, and they can be transformed one weekend of the year into something incredible.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
you can go there, take some pictures in the main square, and then show everybody what's going on in the main square until the beginning of March. Okay.
Yeah. It's amazing. And look, we've got some lovely feedback as well. That music was, I think, Bailando.
Bailando, yeah.
And from the album Verano, Summer Hits there. Deagle quite enjoyed that. I'm not going to read that out, but you get... I used to love watching our kids' class in the carnival parade through the town. Thought some of the parades can be a bit risque. Indeed, it's a very overt expressions of sexuality and spring-like energies. Let's call it that, shall we?
Okay, so to finish with, we can speak about our local carnival here, right?
You've done a very good resolution there. Yep, good.
And now, and now we have our special guest. I'm going to take my headphones, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Special guest. How about this? Good morning to you. I think you've muted yourself there, Filomena. She's going to unmute now. You've done us proud this morning, Filomena. This is quite extraordinary. Yeah, I think maybe your headset might have... do you need to unplug it? You might have muted your headset, or maybe it happened on the laptop. I don't know. That would be a terrible twist.
Okay, you got it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So,
bon dia.
Hello.
Good
Sorry,
morning.
we missed. I talked over you there. Who are we talking to here?
Evelyn Campbell.
Evelyn, bon dia, alegria, muito prazer. Lovely to have you on the show. This has been incredible this morning, Filomena. You went through all the questions. You've given us a guide to the Festa, and now we return to Miranda de Corvo's very own Festa. And I think, Evelyn, are you taking part in this?
No, I've already taken part a few years ago.
How was it?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. It was a wonderful experience. Great fun. Really enjoyed it. Everybody made me feel very welcome, and the people were very friendly. And I would advise all expats and anybody else, immigrants, to take part if they could. It's a fabulous day.
It sounds amazing, and what I need to find out from you is which of those outfits that we've seen already did you dress up?
I have sent you some videos with us dressed up as pirates. Can you find the videos with us dressed up as pirates?
Let's roll that. Cantaneda as well is having a festival, Meliada and Agada, but as Filomena says, they've also been cancelled. So some are happening, some are not. Check locally to get in on the Festa action here this year. And let's have a look then. So are we going for the honeybees or the men in red jackets?
No, not the honeybees, the pirates. It's too much. It's too much for you. I've sent too much.
No, it's okay. We got there in the end.
Okay. Now, that is part of the parade. It is also part of the parade. But it's... Carl, okay, the bees, it's part of Carnival Parade, but that is no problem with those videos. They are my videos, okay? Sure. But that video, I've sent you that video to explain to you that even people on wheelchairs, because those people on wheelchairs, they are real people on wheelchairs. They are not pretending. Because that group is a group of handicapped people that we have, we call association here in Miranda, that lots of handicapped people live, And that group of handicapped people also participate in this parade. And this was to see that even on a wheelchair, you can participate. So everybody, literally everybody, can participate in this kind of parades. But
right,
if
so-
you find the one with us dancing with the pirate costumes, then
Tell
you
what,
can see
I-
us
Can
on
you
the
send
video.
that to me? How easy would it be for you to send me that again right now while I play this one?
Well, I can. Okay,
was amazing.
I have just sent you the two videos
you're the
again.
best.
If you want to,
You
show
are the best. Okay. Oh no, I've not seen these before. these are great. But what I might have to do is I see if I can bring them up on the screen right now.
It's
But
from
again,
my Facebook. It's from my Facebook.
What we can do is we can the pronunciation of Festa, because it's up against the consonant. It is Festa, isn't it? A sh sound.
Festa.
Festa. See, okay. Okay, that's I've got it now. Let's see if we can
Now
I can do this.
Try to spot where is Wally.
Okay. Is this the one we're talking about here?
Yes.
Okay, let's roll it. Oh, that's amazing. Now,
Yeah.
been one of the worst things.
It's playing a bit slow. The video is a bit it's a bit slow motion.
That wasn't a bad thing, given all we've been through this morning. I think that was quite good to have a leisurely and relaxed dance at the end there. But I've got another one, haven't I? I've got another one for you here.
Could you spot both of us?
No, I just saw lots of pirates. But
we were there.
I don't know that for what. How much fun was that, Evelyn?
Fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I've never done anything like that.
Have you not? And you just thought, I'm going to go. Oh, superb. And you just thought, I'm here. I've moved to Portugal. I'm going to get involved.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was Filomena. Yeah. Filomena persuaded me, twisted my arm.
I persuade everyone.
You do. That's so true. Folks, if you want to get involved with one of Filomena's trips, trips for Brits at gmail.com. I'm going to find that and stick it back on the screen. If you want to buy her a drink for all that lovely help we've had with Portuguese language and culture today, tripsforbrits at gmail.com. Final word to you then. I mean, thank you for that. I think that's been one of the worst things about the last couple of years, socially, has been the lack of the Portuguese festa. And I'm so glad to see it coming back. You see it there and you think, this is such a high point of Portuguese culture and life. So glad to see it returning. Last words to you then, Filomena and Evelyn.
I would advise anybody to join in, and it's great to interact with Portuguese community.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and thank you for being a sport and jumping on this morning, Evelyn. What did Filomena say to you?
Oh, she twisted my arm. No, it's fine.
She's here for a lesson this morning.
So
this is the best lesson ever. Best lesson ever. Filomena, thank you so much. What do you have to say to send us into the fin de semana?
Well, I would say again to visit Pudense, because it's worth visiting. This not this weekend, the last weekend of February. So from the 26th of February to the 1st of March. If you visit Pudense, you won't regret it for sure. So they are wearing masks anyway, isn't it? They are already wearing masks, so it's a complete mask from head to toe.
That's right. They can bash the COVID with their wooden stick.
Probably they are not grabbing the goals this year. I don't know. I will see if I will see when I'm there if they're going to grab the goals or not.
Yeah, some people are looking forward to that already. Filomena, you've been amazing as usual, but a special show today. Thank you for answering all those questions and being so sort of diligent with all of that. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure each and every one of those people appreciated it too, that you took the care and trouble to answer each and every one of their questions. So thank you very much for that, and we'll go out with a Filomena finale. With the other video that you sent me, because I think that just about does it. I think, doesn't it? I think we got there in the end. Fantastic. Yeah. Muito obrigado. Bom fim de semana.
Bom fim de semana.
Bom fim de semana.
Tchau.
Não tinha que vem dançando com a galera nessa aventura é por evolução. Olha minha vez que eu vou te xingar. Balança pra lá, balança pra cá. Sacudiu, tremeu, leva essa para. Balança pra lá, balança pra cá. Sacudiu, tremeu, leva essa para. Não andou, mas esse senhor. Não andou, mas esse senhor. Não andou, mas esse senhor. Olha a onda, olha a onda. Olha a onda.